Thank you all for joining. Today is January 21st for the Service Binding Operator Community Call. We'll be focusing on planning today. So I'm going to hand it over to Predrag to lead us through this today's meeting. So Predrag.
Thanks, Jasper. Just to share my screen. So for today, can you see my screen? It's coming, right?
Yep, it's painting. Yep, you can see.
Good. So today we would like, as Jasper mentioned, so we would like to speak about the planning of the upcoming milestone, so 0.5. So we would like to kind of make some decisions. So what issues should be addressed in that milestone? From our side, we have already picked and put some issues into the milestone, but I would like to hear the others in the round if there is something else they would like to work on, and so that they can actually contribute within the next 3 weeks to that milestone. So the idea is that after 3 weeks, after these issues are completed, that we do the release of the next milestone to 0.5. There is already one issue which is done and closed. It's about changing the name of one field in the service binding from custom envar to mappings. With the recent addition of ability to inject files, to bindings as files into the application, then the name of that custom envar field got obsolete because it was kind of it's coming from the days when we're only supporting injecting binding as environment variables. But in order to align us more with the spec, where this field is called mappings, we have decided to rename that field to reflect that. So this is kind of API change if you were using custom envars field before, so you would need to update your mappings to your bindings to use mappings now, but the semantic of the field remains the same. Other things we would like to address is to upgrade operator SDK, which is used in the project to, here the issue refers 1.0, but actually that would be the latest 1x version. And we would like to officially verify if the if our operator works well on plain Kubernetes cluster where OLM is not installed. So out of these issues, we are going to get instructions like a release YAML file, which users and customers can use to deploy operator on such clusters. And the third thing is a kind of added functionality. Currently, the bindings names are calculated with some fixed set of with a fixed logic, namely whatever is defined in the notations, it's uppercase and prepended with a prefix which is equal to the name of the service kind. And we recognize that this is not flexible enough, and this particular issue is going to address that. So we're going to provide a couple of predefined strategies, like logics user can apply, and there will be some same defaults. But if an application requires environmental variable which are following some custom pattern, or like application requires binding files which file names are following some custom naming pattern, a user could then define such logic within the service binding itself. Yeah, that's what we would like to address in the following sprint milestone. Yeah, I would like to open the round for the others to speak up and say if something else needs to be there, and if they would like to work on this, on these issues. So, anybody?
John or Yuan, is this something that you guys are interested in or have an opportunity to help participate?
I wanted to try out service binding with Kafka, and I mean Strimzi, and it was a long issue, so but I know it was linked to some issue in a service binding operator. I was wondering if you had.
What is the
knowledge.
issue? Or like, can you give us the link that we can add it to the milestone?
It's
So
in the
the
chat.
issue is in the chat, but and the one in the service binding operator, I think it was referenced somewhere here. There were two. There was like, I think it was a broad issue like this. I'm not sure of that was that was the issue on the service side. I think it's like a general one. Not sure if it's very if it's doable in a sprint.
Well, there is something. I think we have some. We're referring Strimzi somewhere, right? No.
I pasted the issue, or I think it's a pull request on the service binding operator, but it says proposal to add an alternative service binding implementation. So I'm not sure how it relates to Kafka Strimzi, but
well, this pull request is about a proposal to add support for the service binding resource defined by the spec. So I don't think this is really connected directly to Strimzi or Kafka.
Okay, it was because it was linked in the issue. So I was wondering why they couldn't do service binding without this issue. Because it seems like it was opened like a while ago in Kafka, so maybe, but I don't know.
Okay, but then would you mind if you, in order that we can track this inside the service binding as well, would you mind to create an issue and link the Strimzi issue to that we can actually track it, so that we know if this is, if I mean, do you think that you would this support would require some change on the service binding side, service binding operator side?
That's what they seem to that seems to be the blocker on the Strimzi side, that they need some sort of work on the service binding operator side, but I'm not sure what it is exactly.
Okay.
I just wanted to use it.
Okay, so you want to explore this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I'll just, okay.
I can create another issue if you think that's if that helps.
Yeah, please. I mean, anybody against? Okay.
Oh.
Anything else?
Yuan, is there anything that your team is working on or that you wanted to take a look at?
Well, I know that there is one open pull request. Unfortunately, the colleague of you is not today here, Bobo, right? This is what they submitted like a while ago. I think the review is, I would say, pretty much done. So there is one question from me yesterday, kind of open, so which is like minor thing. So, but this is something which might definitely get merged during this sprint. So
yes, I saw this PR, but I need to check with Bobo tomorrow and back to you.
Okay.
Discuss in this pull request. Thank
Sure.
you.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you guys are looking at, or?
So far, we only shooting this PR in short. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any other things that are in plan or that you're thinking about for future? Just for our reference, maybe not necessarily in this sprint, but for future.
Not yet, actually.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah, and so when you're speaking with Bobo, would you also ask him to give us the feedback? Like there are like two issues here. I want to actually to ask him here in the meeting. Like there was a question on these issues, so just need the feedback that we know how to follow up with this.
Of course.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Anything else for today?
Okay. Okay. So,
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that's what yeah. No, I just want to say, like, if we're good, then we can wrap it up meeting. Like, if there is some other, or like to have like open conversation if there is some other issues, questions from.
Or any technical questions that we wanted to bring up to share or ask. Akash, are you on? Are you back?
Yes, I'm back.
Does it make sense to share a little bit about the naming strategy work that you're doing?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm on my mobile, so I'm not sure whether I can share my screen.
No problems. You can just talk to it.
Yeah, sure. So basically, what we are doing is initially we usually used to set the environment variable key name is like first the prefix will be the service kind in the capital, and underscore will have like the binding name again in the capital. So this is something by default we'll get, and there was no way to customize it. Just we can append the name prefix either on the global level or on the service level. So that was the only thing we could customize. So with this naming strategy, what we can do is we can have a Go template in the string, and there we can define any attribute from the service, and we can have like underscore hyphen whatever we want, and there are few functions, few string templates which we can work on. For example, we can lower the string, we can uppercase the string, or the title case the string. So these are the customization currently available, and there are few default naming strategies we have. We can see here like we have something called none. If we have set naming strategy as none, the basically the dot name, so whatever the binding name is there, that's going to be set as a that is going to be in the environment variable key. And another one is like the default one. I mean, if we haven't specified anything, if the naming strategy is nil, then in that case we are going to uppercase the name. So these are the few naming strategies we have set, and if we don't provide any naming strategy there, the name, we treat basically the naming template, whatever the customer has provided in the service binding request. So these are the things, and along with this, we are deprecating few things which we don't require now. For example, again the naming prefix, because name prefix and global name prefix, these are the two things we don't require, since we can anyways make use of naming strategy template. And another thing is by default we used to set the kind underscore binding name in the caps lock, and that is not going to happen now. We are going to have only name in the uppercase. So this is kind of the default behavior which is going to be changed. I think these are the all we are going with this feature.
Thanks, Akash.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm on mute. Any other comments or questions? Okay. I think we can call it a wrap for today. Thank you all for joining. Have yourself a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.